Greetings, my esteemed subscribers. Today's topic is a very important topic, so I recommend you listen to the whole thing. And I wrote an article about this topic in medium.com, so I will link that in the description below. And the good thing about Medium is that it is a article-based platform where you can write articles, and I think reading is a superior form of consuming information compared to a lot of different platforms, because reading really stimulates your brain. When you think about reading a novel, that stimulates your brain a lot more than watching the movie adaptation of that novel. And that's why a lot of people often prefer the books over the movie when they make a movie adaptation of a novel. So for the same reason, reading is a way to stimulate your brain, and it's also a way for me to really detail my thoughts out so that you can see my thoughts in a more detailed manner. Of course, I'll still be making videos. I think videos is a preferred way for people to consume content, but you should also follow me on Medium, read my article there, because that is a way for you to learn more deeply and to really also train your attention span and get the most out of learning from people online. And I aim to put out content that teaches, inspires, and motivates. And I'll be putting it on YouTube as well as Medium. And if you want to get more details about the topics I talk about, and I can explain it more deeply in written form, then follow me on Medium. So anyway, let's get on to the topic at hand, which is watch what you feed your mind. So I think everyone knows that athletes, or really anyone, they really pay attention to what they feed their stomachs. They really pay attention to what they eat and what kind of nutrition they take. And I'm really talking about athletes here because a lot of people, especially in the US, don't really care about their health. But let's focus on athletes for now. Athletes, in order for them to attain the body that enables their maximum performance, they need to eat the right nutrition, the right foods, the right supplements. Everyone knows that's pretty true, and that also applies to people in general. What you eat is how healthy you become, is how your body actually shapes up. If you eat healthy natural foods, you'll be a healthy person, provided that you exercise, which is what you're supposed to do. And if you eat unhealthy foods, if you eat fast food all the time, processed food, if you smoke cigarettes, even take toxic substances, your body will suffer. You will become less healthy. You will become less energetic. Your muscle growth will not be as good. It will probably suffer. Your bone growth will actually suffer as well, because things like cigarettes actually reduce bone growth. And there's a lot of bad side effects to eating bad foods and also toxic substances. So this is pretty common knowledge. Everyone knows that if you eat healthy, if you eat right, you'll feel better, your body will be healthier, and you'll have more energy. And if you're an athlete, then you must do that in order to really do the best you can, and in terms of performance when you're competing. So this is common knowledge. What isn't really discussed as much is what you feed your mind. Because in this day and age, we live in a world where you can consume so much information everywhere and so much content, especially online, especially because the last few months, or really the last year, we've been stuck at home, or a lot of us have been stuck in lockdown because of the pandemic, and spending a lot of time at home and online consuming content. And what we consume online, or even not even online, with books and other forms of media, what we consume is who we become, what we do, and what we turn out to believe in. Because what we feed our minds affect all those things. It affects how we develop, it affects how we feel, it affects how we think, which is why it's very important to watch what you feed your mind. So I'll give you an example. If you're someone who loves to educate yourself. You are very ambitious. You love to learn. You love to get inspired, be motivated, and you consume content that teaches you, that educates you, whatever that may be. Maybe you're an entrepreneur interested in technology and you consume a lot of content talking about technology, talking about things like that, and you are building your own business with technology. Then yes, that will educate you and make you more knowledgeable so that you can actually build a business with the knowledge that you gain from watching and consuming this educational content. And if you also consume content that inspires you, that motivates you, watching motivational videos, watching inspirational speeches, watching inspirational stories, that will actually affect your mind as well and make you more motivated and more inspired when you actually put in the work and live your life. And to give you the opposite example, let's say you're someone who consumes a lot of bad content. You consume a lot of really meaningless things that don't really add value to your life. Maybe you watch some childish person vlogging and he or his friends, all they do is laze around, be childish, take drugs, binge drink, just do a lot of unhealthy behaviors. That will affect you. That will tell your mind, whether consciously or subconsciously, that this behavior is okay. Being irresponsible is okay. Binge drinking is okay. Taking drugs is okay. It's normal. They're doing it, so that's normal. And that's really bad because you'll act out these bad impulses. So what I want to say is that you should really try to consume content that educates you, inspires you, and motivates you, because that will affect who you become, what you do, and how you think. And if you consume content that it has negative influences, content that really normalizes bad behaviors like binge drinking, drug use, being irresponsible, being lazy, being childish, then subconsciously you will think that's normal and you will be more likely to act out those bad impulses. So avoid that kind of content. Also avoid content that just wastes your time. There's a lot of content that isn't necessarily bad, but doesn't really add value to your life and is just going to waste your time. And I think a lot of content on the internet these days is of a sexual nature, and that wastes your time and that really wastes your sexual energy as well, because when you waste that sexual energy, you can't use it for more productive purposes or just use it to actually meet actual people and make stuff happen in real life. So when I talk about consuming beneficial content that has a positive effect on you, I don't mean eschew all entertainment and just not watch any entertainment or not consume any entertainment. I do not mean that at all. I think this black and white thinking is pretty immature, where you only have to consume very educational content or content that's clearly for education or inspiration or motivation. Those kinds of content is great, but every now and then when we have our downtime, we need to relax and we need to consume some entertainment. And I don't mean that you should just get rid of all entertainment. What I do mean is not all entertainment is equal. Some entertainment can uplift you and can inspire you. For example, when you watch TV series or films that have characters with heroic virtues or positive qualities, people who inspire you, who have these really good qualities, that is good entertainment that can uplift you and inspire you. For example, I like watching a lot of Clint Eastwood westerns because in his movies, he shows strength, he shows resilience, he shows self-reliance, determination, and courage. And I think these qualities are very important and can really make someone achieve a lot more than he could otherwise. And I think if you consume entertainment like that with characters that have these really inspiring qualities, that can help you. Also, if you read fiction and if you read books, then yeah, reading fiction with these kind of characters will also benefit you as well. And also watching vlogs with people who actually inspire you, that can influence you in a positive way as well. So not all entertainment is equal. Try to consume the entertainment that actually inspire you in a positive way, whether that's in films, TV shows, books, etc. Also, culture is spread through entertainment. When you think about how culture really spreads and how people really adapt to a certain culture, a lot of it is through entertainment. So you should consume entertainment that spreads culture that you support, that you believe in, that you want to promote, or that you feel benefits you in a positive way. And I also think that entertainment and fiction in general expands your creativity. It makes you think in different ways, which is why it's very important to not just eliminate all entertainment, only consume stuff that are clearly for educational purposes. But also, you should also be consuming entertainment that really stimulates your creativity, but not all entertainment is equal. Try to be selective with what kind of entertainment you do consume. And lastly, I would like to talk about how throughout this video, I mostly focus on digital content, but a lot of the things we feed our minds are not digital, even though we now live in a digital age. When you think about who you surround yourself with, the environment you surround yourself with, the music you listen to, and the activities you do, all of that affect your mind and influence your mind. And a motivational speaker, his name I think is Jim Rohn, he said that you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And I think that's pretty true, because we do tend to adopt the behaviors and mannerisms and beliefs of the people we spend a lot of time with. And that happens consciously and subconsciously. That's just the way we're wired as human beings, because we're wired to be social creatures and to really pick up on other people's behaviors and mannerisms and beliefs. Also, when you think about the environment you surround yourself with, that is also very important. Let me give you an example. If you surround yourself in, let's say, a library, where the furniture is clean, it's orderly, it's full of hardworking people being studious, doing their work, then that will subconsciously affect you, and you'll become more studious, you'll become more productive, you'll become more focused. And that's why a lot of people like to work in libraries. And on the other hand, the other example I would like to give is if you surround yourself in, let's say, a toxic environment, let's say a household where there's always arguments, there's always drama, there's always negativity, you'll pick up on all these negative things, and you'll become more depressed, you'll become more negative, and you'll become more low energy, because you're picking up on this energy from this toxic household full of arguments and fights and drama. So the environment you surround yourself with is also important. Also, the music you listen to as well. When you think about music, it can do a lot of things for us. It can really inspire us, invigorate us, energize us. That's why a lot of people like to listen to music when they're working out. It can also get us to think and feel in more profound ways. There's a lot of deep music. There's a lot of music that stimulates your mind, especially classical music, in my opinion. And there's also music that really makes you feel more profound feelings that you wouldn't otherwise, or you wouldn't really be able to recognize without the music drawing it from you. And I think that's what's great about music. But there's also a lot of bad music with terrible lyrics that promote really unhealthy behaviors. And like I said before, all the bad behaviors I talked about, binge drinking, drug use, being lazy, being irresponsible, being childish, all of that. There are a lot of songs with lyrics that promote those stuff. And that's going to make you think it's normal subconsciously. It's going to subconsciously make you feel that these are normal behaviors, and it'll encourage you to act out those bad impulses. So even the music you listen to will affect you. Also, the activities you do will affect you as well. If you go to the gym regularly and you exercise and you're disciplined about it, then you'll see yourself as a fit, healthy, disciplined person. And that's part of your identity. And you'll go to the gym regularly, continually, and you'll stay healthy, which is good because that has become part of your identity. And on the other hand, if all you do is sit on your couch, watch TV all day, and smoke weed, then you're going to be a lazy person and you're going to see yourself as a lazy person. And that's going to make it hard for you to change. But if that is the case for you, then I want you to change, because this channel is all about helping people improve and self-actualize. So the activities you do really affect your identity, because what you do is, in a way, who you are. And your identity has a profound impact on your behaviors and your beliefs. So really, all of these things affect your mind. It's not just the digital content you consume, but it's also who you surround yourself with, the environment you put yourself in, the music you listen to, the activities you do on a daily basis or even on a regular basis. All these really influence our minds, and that's why you should really pay attention to these things, because just like athletes and people who are concerned about their health, they really look at what they eat and the nutrition they take in and the supplements they take in. And if you think about people recovering from illnesses or people who need to stay healthy, doctors prescribe them certain diets and even certain medicines, because that allows them to gain the health and body that really enables them to do what they want to do. That also has a parallel to how we feed our minds, because this is not talked about enough. What we feed our minds really influence us, both on a conscious and subconscious level, and it's not talked about a lot. And all of these things really influence us. It influences what we become, it influences what we do, and it influences what we think. And it also influences how we feel. So pay attention to what you feed your mind. And I will end with a common quote that a lot of people say, and it's that you are what you eat. And I would like to expand on that, because I think this quote is incomplete. I think a more accurate and more encompassing quote would be, you are what you consume. And what you consume affects your mind. And what you feed your mind is what you become and who you are. So watch what you feed your mind. Make sure you feed your mind the right things that teaches you, that inspires you, that motivates you. And when you consume entertainment, make sure that's entertainment that's inspirational, that uplifts you. And I would categorize entertainment as something that's inspirational. So pay attention to what you feed your mind, because that's very important. It'll affect who you turn out to be, what you do, and what you believe. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And like I said before, I'm writing articles about topics like these on medium.com, and they can be more detailed because it's in written form, and it's really good for the mind to read, and that's why I recommend you follow me on Medium. Also, I make short videos on the same topics I talked about on YouTube, on TikTok, so follow me on that. And if you want to ask me any questions, then follow me on Instagram and DM me. So that is all for today. It's been an important topic, and I hope this has enlightened you so that you pay more attention to what you feed your mind, because right now we all know that we should pay attention to what we eat. But even though a lot of people don't, but we know that that's true and that affects our health. But a lot of people don't know that it's also important to watch what you feed your mind, because that affects your brain and your person and your behaviors and mannerisms and beliefs and even your energy and how you feel. All that is important. So that is all for today, and I'll see you guys next time.